You don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Dead up perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the first part of What If Naruto Meets Sonic? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Hussbek on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. On a desolate land, one could see craters, kunais, shurikens and other signs of destruction. If you strain your ears, you hear large sounds followed by the earth shaking. If you're wondering what's going on here, then the answer will be war, one that will decide the destruction or salvation of the elemental nations. Currently two men were facing another across the battlefield. Their opponent was none other than Uchiha Madara, who is the progenitor of the Uchiha clan and the reason for the war. He had sealed 9 of the bijou within him, with one of them being only half while the other half is under the possession of his opponents. He seeks to claim the other half so as to complete his plan, which is to use the moon to cast an illusion on the entire elemental nations and to rule as he sees fit, but his opponents won't make it easy for him. "Let's take him down once and for all, Sasuke," said a boy with blonde hair. His name is Naruto Uzumaki, a ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village and the Jinchuriki of the Kurama, the Nine-Tailed Fox. He currently possesses the ing half of Kurama's chakra and is currently in his 6 paths mode, which was granted to him by Hagamoro, the first sage of the 6 paths and the surrogate father of the 9 bijus. Naruto's body is covered in yellow chakra, a circular design over his stomach. The whisker-like marks are much thicker to resemble a trigram and 6 magatama are present around his collar. The darker designs give the appearance that he's wearing a body suit beneath the yellow coat, and there are 6 black balls floating behind him. The boy next to him silently nodded in affirmation. It's his best friend and former teammate Sasuke Uchiha. He had defected from the Hidden Leaf Village in pursuit of revenge but had returned to aid the others. He had also met Hagamoro and now possessed the Mangekyo Sharingan in one eye and the Rinnegan on the other. It's not going to be easy, Naruto, especially since he possesses the power of the bijus. "Don't worry about that, I just got a trump card for that problem, so all I need to do is get close to Madara team for it to work," said Naruto with a smirk. "I hope you know what you're doing." "Of course, Sasuke, this is me we're talking about." "Exactly my point," Sasuke deadpanned at the blonde. "Whatever, let's just beat this guy up and then head so that I can have a bowl of ramen at Ichiraku." With that said, Naruto charged forward with Sasuke close behind as they targeted the progenitor of the clan and the cause of the war. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto spawned a few clones that dashed ahead of him with kunai drawn to attack Madara. "It's best that you surrender, your death is inevitable," said Madara as he held his shikujo at the ready before the clones drew close. Then he started defending against the attacks easily due to the power of the Rinne Sharingan. One of the clones stretched out a chakra arm to grab the Uchiha, but it was blocked. Another clone threw his kunai only for Madara to twirl the staff to knock it into the air before grabbing it and throwing it back quickly to dispel the clone. A few more clones attacked at the same time with the rasengan. Madara quickly used Kamui to disappear from the attack and appear elsewhere, only for Sasuke to come in from behind with a blazing Chidori in his left hand and his Tanto in his right. Madara grabbed Sasuke by the wrist to prevent the Chidori from getting any closer and used the Shikujo to block the Tanto. Naruto was coming in fast with a large rasengan and 3 smaller rasengan orbiting around it. "Take this, planetary rasengan," shouted Naruto as he launched his attack. Madara swung Sasuke around to use him as a shield but failed to notice the smirk on the Uchiha's face as he substituted with one of Naruto's shadow clones, who then grabbed on and held him in place as the jutsu made contact and sent Madara flying before he crashed into a nearby mountain. Sasuke moved in to use Amaterasu to finish him off. Madara summoned the skeletal ribcage of Susanoo to block the black eternal flames and formed a skeletal arm to grab him. You are an annoyance, be gone from my sight. Madara threw a black chakra rod which stabbed Sasuke in the chest and tossed him with the skeletal arm to a far distance. Sasuke. Damn it, without him to help me distract him, I don't know how I can use it without him being on alert, thought Naruto as he gritted his teeth. Do you have a backup plan, Kit? Asked Kurama from within the mindscape. I do, but you're not going to like it. Naruto sent his thoughts to Kurama, who frowned upon receiving it. Are you sure that you want to do this? Doing this, both our lives in serious danger and a single slip-up could lead to death. We don't have much options, Kurama, and this could end the war in one shot. Okay, kid, just know that we're in this together until the very end. Naruto smiled warmly at the support of his lifelong friend. Thanks, partner. He turned to face Madara. Let's do this. Shadow clone jutsu. Several clones appeared and charged at Madara again. You're all that is left to stand in my way. Once I'm done with you, my Moon Eye plan will be complete, said Madara with a sadistic smile. Not if I have anything to say about it. Everyone's counting on me and Kurama, so I can't afford to lose. We shall see. Fire style, great fire annihilation. Madara took a deep breath and unleashed a massive blast of fire at Naruto and his clones. Naruto willed the 6 Gautama to float before him, then he melded them together into one before expanding it to form a shield, which the clones took cover behind it right before the fire made contact. Madara dashed forward and went around the shield to launch another attack, only to find neither Naruto nor his clones there. He felt a sudden jolt of pain and looked down to see a fist buried in his gut, which came from a shadow clone. Then the other clones quickly followed up with attacks of their own. Zu, Ma, Ki. Naruto dived in from above with a rasengan in hand. Naruto Rendan plus rasengan. Shinra Tensei. Naruto and his clones got blasted back from the eye technique and was sent flying away from Madara. Naruto recovered in midair and skidded to a stop and raised his head to see Madara stretching out a hand for his head. Kid, watch out, he's trying to use the Deva path of the Rinnegan to draw out your soul. Kurama shouted out a warning. Naruto grabbed the hand by the wrist and quickly caught the other one, which lashed out and held them in place. You've got to end this quickly, you don't have much longer in this form. What will you do now, Uzumaki? I can sense that your chakra is almost depleted, said Madara. You're right, which is why I'm going to defeat you by doing this. A chakra burst out from Naruto's back and was holding a slip of paper with seals drawn on it. Then it smacked the seal on Madara's chest. Then the seals glowed a bit, then they crawled of the paper and infused themselves on his body. My chakra is going berserk. What did you do to me? Shouted Madara. He felt as if something was trying to tear its way out of his body. It's a special chakra disruption seal that I made during the beginning of the battle. I had my clones create the seal while I kept you busy throughout. It messes with your chakra, something which is very important for a Jinchuriki. I've given the bijou inside you a chance to escape, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. The one thing that he learned from Pervy Sage and his parents is that seals have endless possibilities. He started learning about them after the Jiraiya's death and studied harder after he met the chakra construct of his father. Madara cried out as 8 red tendrils of chakra shot out from his body and into the distance. Kid, those were the spirits of the bijou that just came out. That Uchiha Bstrd is now nothing more than a hollow husk, said Kurama with satisfaction at finally taking down Madara. It's over for you. Naruto swung Madara around several times before tossing him into the air. He was about to prepare a Rasen Shuriken to finish him off when he heard the Uchiha yell out. You little brat. You ruined my plans. If I'm going down, then I'm dragging you down with me. Madara started going hand signs very quickly, then he began to glow brightly. Kurama's eyes widened upon realizing what he was about to do. Kit, get out of there now. He using what's left of his chakra to turn himself into a bomb that will explode over a mile radius. You have to get a move on, shouted Kurama. Naruto was about to run when his 6 paths mode faded away and he was in his ragged orange jumpsuit. He struggled to his feet and started to run, but it was that the exhaustion from his previous battles had finally taken effect. Kid, at this rate, you won't be able to make it, said Kurama. Damn it, then what should we do, Kurama? Asked Naruto while still running. Kit, I want you to listen to me carefully. Meanwhile, Kakashi, Sakura and Sasuke, who was healed by the pinkette, were running across the battle towards where they last saw Naruto. Hurry, we must get to Naruto to help fight against Madara, said Kakashi. Then they heard an explosion and saw white energy spreading out. What was that? Asked Sakura worriedly. I don't know, but I hope Naruto's okay, said Sasuke. Then he saw someone approaching them and recognized who it was, Naruto. Hey guys, said Naruto with a sad smile which confused them. Why are you looking so down? Surely you were able to beat Madara, right? Asked Kakashi. Yeah, I did, but the truth is that I'm a shadow clone. Hearing this put shock and fear in the hearts of the members of Team 7. What happened to the original Naruto? Asked Sakura. After freeing the bijou, the boss was about to finish Madara off when he used a jutsu to self-destruct in order to kill him. The boss was too tired to get away, so Kurama performed a kenjutsu which would send the both of them to another dimension in order to escape the kamikaze attack, said the clone. Then surely you will be able to come back, right? Asked Sasuke, but the clone looked away from them. The jutsu is a one-way ticket, isn't it? Kakashi, only to receive a nod from the clone. Sakura started to cry as she realized that she would never see Naruto again, just when Team 7 had finally reunited. That was when he created me and had transformed into a kunai which he threw far away from the blast so that I'll meet you and say his goodbyes, as well as give you this scroll. The clone held out a scroll which Kakashi took with shaking hands. Who is it for? Asked the tearful Sakura. It's someone whom he wanted to spend the rest of his life with, only she can open it, said the clone. Then he shook a bit. My time is almost up. Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke and Sakura-chan, I'm leaving Konoha in your hands now. Please protect it. We will, Naruto, and that is a promise of a lifetime, said Sasuke. Naruto smiled happily before disappearing in a puff of smoke, the remaining members of Team 7 to walk back to the others to tell the sad news that their favorite blonde will never be coming back. Somewhere in a certain mountain, a large blue orb burst from the ground and hovered in the air. Then 5 smaller orbs colored red, blue, yellow, orange and green. Then they floated over to the large blue which started to glow. We must return to our MSTR, said the blue orb with smaller ones glowing as if in agreement. Then they took off to the sky in a beam of white in search of their mysterious MSTR. Kit, hey Kit, wake up, shouted Kurama. Naruto groaned a bit as he opened his eyes before getting up to look around. He was currently standing in a sewer which he recognized to be his mindscape, where he often meets Kurama. He turned around to see a giant fox with rustic orange fur, long ears like a rabbit's and 9 tails. Hey Kurama, so what's happening right now? Asked Naruto. We're currently floating in a void between dimensions and are on our way to one of them, but I don't know which one, said Kurama. There was silence in the mindscape until Naruto spoke up. Kurama, are you sure that there's no way for us to return? Kurama looked sad for a bit before he replied, I'm sorry Kit, but the old man told me that if I or the other bijou were to use the trans-dimensional jutsu, there's no chance of returning to our original dimension as there are many others for us to pinpoint. Then I guess my dream of becoming Hokage won't come to pass, said Naruto with tears building up in his eyes. I won't have any of that, Naruto. Don't forget that it was you who united us bijous, won the war and saved countless lives. That is far greater than any other Kage, and all of it was done by a ninja named Naruto Uzumaki, so quit it with the water works. Naruto looked at the fox in surprise before he wiped his eyes and smiled warmly at Kurama. Thanks Kurama, I guess I needed that. Don't mention it Kid, we're friends aren't we? Asked Kurama, to which Naruto nodded happily. Good, anyway there's something that I wanted to talk to you about. Really, what's up? I discovered something interesting. Turns out that you have a Kekii Genkai 2 to be exact. What? I have 2 Kekii Genkais, shouted Naruto in confusion. Yes, the first one is called the Swift Release, which give you the ability to move at high speeds. you must have inherited it from your father, which makes a lot of sense as he could move at such speeds even when not using the Hiraishin kunais. But then why couldn't I use it until now? I don't, but it must have activated when you merged your chakra with mine. That's the best explanation so far. The second is your Uzumaki BLD, but that was active the whole time as it gives you high levels of stamina and the ability to heal quickly. But I thought my ability to heal came from you, asked Naruto. Not really, it was your Kekii Genkai this whole time, but you being my Jinchuriki simply enhanced it to higher levels, said Kurama. Naruto placed an hand on his chin with a thoughtful look on his face. So let me get this straight, I can move at high speeds like my dad and as well as take hits and heal like my mom. Then he smirked, I sound so badass right now. Kurama simply sighed in exasperation before he chuckled softly, but I noticed something else. I sensed something infuse itself in your body some time ago. Every time I try to locate it, it hides itself from me. Is it harmful? So far it hasn't done anything bad to your body, but the weird thing is that it had a bit of your chakra before it infused itself in you, and I heard something like, I have returned to you MSTR. Before I lost trace of it. That sounds as if I met it before, but I don't remember being a MSTR to anything. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Kit, you might want to wake up. It seems like we've arrived. And just to let you know, the trans-dimensional jutsu could have certain side effects on the user, so let's just hope that it's not too bad. Naruto simply smiled and waved him off. Relax Kurama, it's not like I would look a fox that walks on 2 feet, then he disappeared to find out about this new world that they're in. Naruto opened his eyes and their first thing he saw were blue skies, then he slowly got and looked around to find himself standing in a lush forest with animals running around. While this place is appealing, Naruto raised his hand to scratch the back of his head only to notice that his arm was covered with orange fur. Then he felt something waving behind him and turned to see 9 tails wagging. What the heck? Seeing a nearby stream, he quickly ran over to look at his reflection. There he saw an anthropomorphic fox with black whisker marks, and his hands were possessing claws that retract and come out upon his command. I guess that this could be the side effect, said Kurama from within the mindscape. What do we do now Kurama? I can't go around looking like this. Who knows what kind of reaction we would get if someone sees us like this. Kit, calm down, we'll know what to do when the time comes. I have noticed that your chakra system has been seriously strained due to the constant battle without rest. So I'd advise that you don't use high-level jutsus, sage mode, chakra mode, and even your rasengan and shadow clones. You mean none at all? Asked Naruto. Well, you can use the rasengan at half its power, which is without a shadow clone, and you create no more than 5 shadow clones. That's how much your chakra system can currently handle while I fix it. Got it Kurama, so only quick rasengan and 5 clones are my limit. Now let's check my inventory. Naruto looked at his forearm and was relieved to see a seal, which is a storage seal to keep his tools and other items. He bit his thumb and swiped a BLD on the seal to release the items as they lay on the floor for him to look. So far he has a stack of explosive tags, 100 kunai and shuriken each, empty scrolls, a brush and ink for drawing seals, and a couple of his father's Hiraishin kunai. I remembered to pack all the necessary tools, but I forgot to pack a change of clothes, Naruto muttered in annoyance. And this is why everyone calls you an idiot, said Kurama while laughing. Naruto's eyes twitched. Stop laughing and let's get a move on. Naruto sealed the items back in the storage seal, but then he noticed a tattoo in the shape of an azure dragon on his other forearm. I wonder what this is. Could I have something to do with whatever infused itself with my body? He shrugged his shoulders and started walk through the forest. Along the way, Naruto came across something that caught his interest. It was several golden rings that were floating just a few inches above the ground. He walked over and cautiously picked one of it up to observe closely. He could sense a slight pulse of energy from it. What do you think of this Kurama? Asked Naruto. I don't know, but I think you should gather more of them. Maybe you can trade them for the currency in order to buy the things we need, said Kurama. Naruto nodded in affirmation, then he took out the brush and ink to draw a storage seal on his palm. Then he grabbed the rings that disappeared into the seal. How about I try out my dad's swift release as well as get myself back in shape, said Naruto, receiving a grunt from the fox. Then he crouched low before taking off, leaving a small crater at where his feet were. Music start, Sonic Generations OST, Green Hill, Modern. Naruto was tearing through the forest at speeds which he had never gone before outside the tailed beast chakra mode, which even surprised Kurama himself. Whoa, this Kekii Genkai totally rocks. Dad must have had a lot of fun running circles around his enemies all day, shouted Naruto excitedly. Hey, what's that up ahead? Naruto, a flat panel with endless treadmills on the ground. When Naruto stepped on it, he felt himself thrown forward with a small burst of speed. Whoa, I guess that boosts my running speed for a short time. He kept on running until he came across a cliff face. Smirking slightly, he started running up the wall without applying chakra to his feet and soon felt himself slow down until he saw more of those flat panels which he now calls dash panels. He ran on them to regain the speed lost and kept on going till he reached the top. Naruto ran along the edge of the cliff and there was a gap between it and another cliff. I doubt that I can jump that far. Then he saw a metal ring with a glowing inner rim with 3 plates showing arrows pointing into them. Without thinking, he jumped high into the air and through ring and felt himself launched further until he landed on the other side, and that would be the aerial version of the dash panels. He found himself in a craggy area with 2 mountains on both sides. Naruto was vaulting over the rocky obstacles and soon came upon a ledge too high for him to reach and no dash panels to help him out. Now how do I get up there? Hey kid, follow those trails of rings, said Kurama, who was looking through his eyes the whole time. Naruto followed the trail and came upon a red platform with a blue circle and yellow star in the center, and he could see a gray spring underneath it. Naruto looked up to see more of them placed in different areas and got the idea. Then he stepped on the first one which bounced him into the air to another one and continued to do so until he reached the top. He started running downhill and heard rumbling from and looked behind to see large boulders rolling behind him. Whoa, a rock slide. He ran faster with the rocks getting closer, then he saw a spring to his left and quickly jumped at it and bounced into the air and away from the rock slide. Phew, that was a close one, said Naruto wiping sweat off his eyebrow. You were lucky kid, if you hadn't used those springs to get away, you would have gotten crushed by those boulders, said Kurama. Now get going, we should be close to a town or city from what I'm sensing. Okay furball, I got it. Naruto took off again, not before hearing Kurama grumble about being called a furball. Music end. Along the way, Naruto was getting used to the swift release and even created a few moves with it. Then he finally skidded to a stop in front of a cliff which was overlooking a city next to the ocean with boats floating through canals within it. Naruto also saw people walking on the streets wearing clothes that are different from the ones that the civilians from his own dimension wear. Wow, this place looks so appealing and it's close to the sea. It kinda reminds me of the land of waves, don't you think so Kurama? Asked Naruto as he enjoyed the view. I have to admit it kid, it certainly does. Now you should go and gather information so that we can find out where exactly we are and how things are done in this dimension, said Kurama. Sir, yes sir, said Naruto with a mock salute, then he jumped off the cliff and skidded down the wall until he reached the bottom and walked towards the city. As he walked along the streets, he noticed people were giving him looks but was surprised that he didn't sense any trace of negative emotions with his sensory abilities that he got from Kurama. Hey Fox, you have any idea why they're looking at me like that? I thought they would be disgusted with the way I look. I think it might have to do with the fact that you just walked into the city, wearing clothes that make you look like you just came out of a war zone, said Kurama. Naruto looked at himself and realized that his favorite orange and black jumpsuit are so ragged that they made him look like a hobo. You're right, I'd better head to a clothing store and buy some clothes. I hope they have some with orange there. After asking for some directions from the citizens, Naruto was able to locate a store that sells clothes and entered it. Hello there, how may I help you? Asked a man who's standing behind a counter. Hello sir, I was hoping to buy some clothes here since my old ones are much too ragged, said Naruto. Of course, feel to browse through our collection and when you're done, you can complete your purchase here with rings. I guess those rings are a form of currency around here. It's a good thing that you collected a lot on the way here, said Kurama with Naruto nodding in agreement. After looking through the clothes, Naruto came wearing an orange and black flak jacket with multiple pockets and a hoodie with the zipper open, black cargo shorts with red flames and orange high-top sneakers with dragon designs on it. Naruto was able to salvage some stuff from his old clothes, which were his headband, ninja pouch and his kunai holster which he wore with his new clothes. Naruto headed back to the counter and paid for the clothes, which was a cost of 500 rings, before he left walk around the city. He walked by a shop and saw a brochure that caught his interest. Maybe this will give us some information. He took one and read it for a while. He read that he was in a city called Solana, which is a constitutional monarchy with an economy dominated by tourism and precision machinery. They worship a sun god who goes by the name Solaris. The brochure also states that the city falls under the rule of Princess Elise. Hey Kurama, it also says that there's an event called the Solana Sun Festival where the citizens give their thanks to the sun by honoring the sun god Solaris, and it's going to be held tonight, plus the princess will be there as the main attraction. Think we can hang around and see it? Asked Naruto mentally. Well, since you humans celebrate an event once every year, I don't see any harm in it, said Kurama. Come on buddy, what could possibly happen, said Naruto with laugh. What he didn't was that he was in himself into the craziest adventure with certain people whom he'll form a bond that will last a lifetime. Naruto was hanging around the city and enjoying the sights while waiting for the night in order to take part in the Solana Sun Festival. Walking through the streets, Naruto saw what looks to him as puppets made of metal patrolling the street with the letters written GUN on it. The surprising thing is that they aren't controlled by a puppet MSTR and no chakra strings attached to them. Kit, I think no one in this world possess any chakra. I guess we're the only ones, said Kurama. Maybe they use their advanced technology to make up for the absence of chakra, I guess, said Naruto, looking at someone holding some sort of screen the size of a tablet and pressing the screen with his finger as it made different sounds. Suddenly his nose picked up a familiar scent which made him drool. Could it be? Please let it be so. Naruto dashed off at high speed while tracking the scent. After running through the streets, he skidded around a corner and came upon a sight that made him cry tears of joy and Kurama groan in exasperation. 10 minutes later, he was sitting in front of a noodle stall eating his 10th bowl of ramen, much to the shock of the chef. Wow kid, you really love noodles. Of course, ramen is the food of the gods that can even transcend dimensions. I need my faith in it wasn't misplaced, said Naruto with sparkles in his eyes. Seriously kid, if you don't die on the battlefield then I'm sure you would die from overeating ramen, said Kurama. Seriously, you should try eating other foods. Well I do, but to me ramen will always be my #1 favorite, thought Naruto. After eating 3 more bowls, he paid for the ramen and turned to leave, but he stopped and looked behind with a smirk. Just to let you know, then he spoke in a deep voice, I'll be back. The chef simply stared and had one thought in mind, that he should stock on ingredients when he does come back and eat at his stall. Hey Kurama, what do you think the princess is like? Asked Naruto, who was currently on top of a tall bell tower and enjoying the view of the city. She must be a good ruler judging by the way the city is flourishing, and I don't sense any negativity with my emotion sensor, said Kurama. Anyway, there's something that I want to ask you, so could you come in here? Naruto quirked an eyebrow before sending his consciousness into his mindscape to meet the fox. So what's up Kurama, what is it you want to ask? Could change your mindscape into something else? 16 years in a sewer can drive anyone nuts, and I don't think I can take any more, said Kurama. Naruto looked around and saw how dreary the place is. You're right, so how do I go about it? Asked Naruto. This place is created by your subconsciousness, so all you have to do is think of what you want it to be. Naruto closed his eyes and started to concentrate, then the sewer disappeared in a flash of white. Then it faded to reveal them standing in a grass clearing with a large lake nearby and a lush forest nearby. It may not be much, but I hope that it will do. Thanks a lot kid, it may not be the outside but it's way better than the sewer. I can move about freely now, said Kurama, who shrunk to the size of a horse before stretching his body. No problem buddy, so what do we do now since we still have a lot time before tonight, asked Naruto. We could some training. I'm going to teach you how to use your senses, claws and tails in battles since it would be a waste if you don't. You could integrate your claws and tails into your already unpredictable fighting style to perform maneuvers to confuse your opponents, and your fox instincts would help you detect enemies among other things. By the time Kurama had finished talking, Naruto already looked raring to get started on his training. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's this show on the road. He took a stance with his legs apart, his left hand balled into a fist and positioned at his chest, and his right hand moved forward with his claws out. Kurama crouched low and faced Naruto with a foxy grin on his face. They stood still for a while, then as if a signal sounded they charged at each other with excitement in their eyes. During the training, Naruto learned how to incorporate slashes and tail attack into his taijutsu, which he calls the fox's claw style, which Kurama took a liking to the name, and his fox-like instinct made him much unpredictable than before. He also created some more techniques of the swift release as well, which he could mix with his attacks. Soon the night had fallen and the buildings and towers were all lit up. Fireworks were on display in the night to produce a festive mood, and many people were standing on both sides of a large canal, with a few of them on standing on boats as they await the princess's royal procession. Naruto stood amongst the crowd as they waited in excitement. Everyone is in a celebratory mood, don't you think, Kurama? Thought Naruto, and he heard Kurama grunt in agreement when someone from among the crowd spoke up. Look! Here come Princess Elise. Naruto looked down the canal as the crowd started to cheer to see a large silver boat which was designed to look like the wings of a bird rowing into view. Dancers dressed in yellow were on the deck, and on the bow stood a teenage girl with short red hair with feather crown on it. She wore a white dress with feather trim and white evening gloves reaching to her elbows and a pantyhose with red high heels. So that's Princess Elise. She's quite pretty if you ask me, said Naruto as he watched the princess wave at the crowd. Looks like you inherited your father's infatuation with redheads, said Kurama with a mischievous grin, making Naruto blush in embarrassment, as he had complimented his mom's red hair when he met her chakra memory during the time he trying to take Kurama's chakra. Quit joshing me, Kurama, and besides I'm not human anymore, thought Naruto before he turned his attention back to the boat which had rowed across the canal until it came to a stop before an altar. Kurama frowned a bit as he thought he had sensed two energy signatures from the princess. One was faint as if sealed away while the other was emitting a lot of it, but decided to think about it later. Princess Elise stepped off the boat and climbed up the stairs to meet the bishop, then one of the servants passed on a torch to her. When Princess Elise stared into the flames, her eyes glazed over as if her mind wandered elsewhere until one of the servants called out to her. Soon the whole place was silent as the princess started to speak. We give thanks to the blessed flames. May we always continue to have peace. Son of Solana, guide and watch over us with your eternal light. Then she stepped forward and placed the torch onto the altar, which lit up in flames to signify the beginning of the festival, as fireworks were launched into the air again and everyone started cheering. Naruto smiled happily at the speech and wondered if the elemental nations was now in peace as well. Suddenly, something flew through the air and crashed into the buildings, causing explosions and destruction around, which made the people start to panic. What the hell's going on here? Shouted Naruto, looking around for the source of the attacks. Then he ran up the side of a building till he reached the rooftop and looked up to the dark sky to see a large airship which was descending from amongst the clouds. A hatch opened up and several of those metal puppets that Naruto saw earlier before dropped out and landed on the altar, surrounding the princess and her servants with no way of escape. Kid, it seems someone is after the princess and we're about to find out who, said Kurama, who was watching through Naruto's eyes as a smaller airship descended towards the altar. On it is a bald-headed man with a long mustache and wearing black glasses, red turtleneck coat with white trim, yellow cuffs and gold circular buttons, black one-piece pants/boots with silver accents and buttons, and a pair of white cuffless gloves. A pleasure to meet you at last, Princess of Solana. I am Dr. Eggman. I've come here to obtain the secret of the flames of disaster from you. And to take the miracle gems that are the key to its secret, the Chaos Emerald, said the man. Flames of disaster. Chaos emeralds. I may not what they are, but they sound like something that should not be in his possession, said Naruto as he got ready to jump in and save the princess until Kurama called out to him. Hey kid, I'm sensing someone approaching them at speeds even higher than yours. Is it hostile? Asked Naruto. No, I don't sense any negative emotions from it. Then a blue wind started swirling around the altar until they heard someone talk above them. That's a pretty snazzy performance. They turned to see an anthropomorphic blue-bodied hedgehog with quills that curved down with tan muzzle, arms and a circle on the torso with a black nose. He also wears red sneakers with a white strap, cuff and gold buckle each and a pair of white gloves. When Princess Elise took a look at the hedgehog, she rather saw a white hedgehog in his place. You? It couldn't be. Not you again, get him. Eggman growled out. The mech started shooting at the hedgehog only for him to dodge by leaping into the air, then he started attacking them at speeds which they couldn't react to before he stopped before the last one, which was standing at the edge, and tapped it with his foot, causing it to fall over. Then he ran back to the princess and stood there while wagging an index finger while grinning. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. You always get in my way. All mechs attack. At Eggman's command, the robots approached them, but before they got any closer, a diamond-shaped knife with a hoop at the handle landed between them, much to their confusion. Who is it now? That would be me. They turned to the voice to see an anthropomorphic nine-tailed fox with orange fur and black whisker marks, wearing a black headband, an orange sleeveless hoodie vest, black cargo shorts and orange high-top sneakers. Who are you? Asked Eggman. My name's Naruto Uzumaki, a ninja. I didn't like what you were doing, so I'm here to stop you, said Naruto as he walked to the knife and picked it up before turning to face the man. Is that so? All mechs attack that fox, shouted Eggman. Naruto looked behind him and called out, get the princess out of here while I take care of these guys. Okay, I don't know who you are, but thanks for the help. Sonic quickly picked Elise in a bridal carry and took off at high speed, leaving Naruto behind with Dr. Eggman and his machines. None of them knew that someone else was watching the hedgehog run off with determination in his eyes. I've finally found him, the Iblis trigger. Shadow clone jutsu. In a puff of smoke, 5 clones appeared and stood at the ready. Get these people out of here. Nodding in affirmation to his command, the clones grabbed the bishop and servants and carried them to safety. I don't know who you are, you've already proven yourself a threat to my plans, said Dr. Eggman as the mechs began to attack. Naruto twirled his kunai before holding it in reverse and charging forward to engage the enemies. One of the machines rapidly fired bullet, but Naruto quickly defended himself by using the swift release to speed up his reflexes as he deflected the shots to hit the other machines, making them explode. Another shot a missile from behind. The fox sensed this and leapt into the air. Then he dived at the mech with a quick rasengan in his free hand and rammed it into the machine, turning it into scrap metal. Several mechs surrounded him, then Naruto grabbed some of his kunai from the pouch and tossed them into the air. He jumped them and used his tails to grab them through the hoops before spinning around and flinging them at the mechs. Then he put his hands together into a ram hand sign and pulsed his chakra. The papers that were wrapped around the handles lit up in flames before exploding, taking out the mechs. Wrapping this up. Swift release, bladed shadow dance. Naruto channeled wind chakra into his kunai and ran through the mechs at speeds fast enough to leave afterimages before skidding to a stop at where he started. When he placed the kunai back in its holster, the mechs fell apart in pieces. He looked around to himself standing in the middle of destroyed mechs. But there was no sign of Dr. Eggman. Where did he go? He must have gone after that hedgehog and princess while using those machines to keep you occupied, said Kurama. DMN, I gotta hurry over there fast. Naruto sped in direction of where Sonic in hopes of getting there before anything happens. With Sonic and Elise. Sonic was running through the streets with Elise in his arms as they attempt to get away from Dr. Eggman. Why are you helping me? Asked Elise. No special reason, and I'm sure I can say the same for that guy from earlier, Sonic replied. Then he leapt over a canal, but then a group of mechs landed before them. Sonic placed Elise on the ground before dashing at the machines and quickly taking them out with his homing attacks. But then he heard Elise cry out and turned around to see her being grabbed by a mechanical arm that's attached to Eggman's ship, which started to ascend towards his larger ship. "Sonic, take this." Elise wiggled an arm out of the machine's grip and threw a blue gem towards Sonic, who caught it. "I got it. And don't worry, I'll rescue you," said Sonic. Then someone landed next him and saw that it was the fox from earlier. "You mean, we?" said Naruto with Sonic nodding in affirmation. "I know," said Elise. "Humph, it's only a matter of time before it's mine. Until then, you can hold on to it for me," said Eggman. Then he turned to face Naruto, "and I'll deal with you later." Then they watched as the doctor entered the ship with the princess before it flew away to who knows where. Sonic turned to face the nine-tailed fox. "So you're ninja, huh? You wouldn't happen to know a chameleon by the name Espio?" "'Cause he's a ninja too," said Sonic. "Nope, I don't know anyone by that name, but I'd sure like to meet a fellow ninja," said Naruto, becoming interested in how ninjas operate around here. Then he noticed the gem in his hand. "What's that you're holding?" Kurama was also interested as he could sense high amounts of energy coming from it. "This is a Chaos Emerald that Elise gave to me before she was taken away so that Eggman wouldn't get it." "A Chaos Emerald?" Naruto looked confused. "You don't know what a Chaos Emerald is?" asked a surprised Sonic and received a nod in return. "Well, no one knows they came from, and they've been around for several millennia, but there are 7 Chaos Emeralds of different colors that contains mystical properties and contain unlimited amounts of chaos energy. Each one contains unlimited power, but when one combines all 7 emeralds, he gains ultimate power and unlimited." Naruto and Kurama stood there with shock on their as it almost sounds what would have happened if Madara had fused all of the bijou together to form the Jubi, something he was able to stop before it happened. Many times, Eggman had been going after the emeralds to rule the world with me and my friends to stop him. There are times when I use the power of the emeralds to transform into a super state to fight him. But after using all the 7 emeralds, they would normally scatter themselves, so you'll have to search for them again. It must some kind of fail-safe to prevent someone from using it repeatedly, said Kurama with a thoughtful look. It seems that the Chaos Emeralds isn't the only that he's after. I overheard him mention something about learning the secret of the flames of disaster from Elise, so we'd better hurry and rescue her before anything bad happens, said Naruto. No problem, this will be done in no time, said Sonic before smirking at Naruto. Think you can keep up? Naruto smirked back at the hedgehog. I should be asking you that question. Hee hee ha, you and I will get along just fine. Let's juice. Both Sonic and Naruto sped off in search of clues to the where Eggman may have gone to in order to rescue Princess Elise. It was now daytime in the city of Solana. Sonic and Naruto with the help of his shadow clones were running around asking people for information about the whereabouts of Eggman's ship. So far they were only able to gather bits and pieces from the citizens. Right now they're at a fountain to talk about what they've learned so far. I've gotta admit, you're pretty fast on your feet. You and I will have a race one of these days after we give Eggman a pounding, said Sonic with a smirk. Sure thing, I'll be looking forward to it, said Naruto with a foxy grin. He found a kin in the hedgehog for their love for speed and the heart to help people. So let's find out what we've learned from the citizens so far. From what the clones and I have gathered, majority of the citizens say that they've seen Eggman's ship fly in direction of the seaside, said Naruto. The same here, there's a gateway to Wave Ocean. It can transport us there in no time, said Sonic. Alrighty then, lead the way. The two speedsters were about to run towards the gateway when they heard a voice which sounded familiar to Sonic. Sonic, they turned to the voice to see someone running towards them, which caught Naruto and Kurama's interest. He is a yellow-orange anthropomorphic fox with 2 tails. He wears a pair of white gloves and socks with gray fasteners, and a pair of red sneakers with white toes and gray soles. Hey Tails, long time no see, said Sonic with a smile. It's great to see you too, said Tails happily. Then he turned his attention to Naruto, who gave a silent wave. Who is that? My name is Naruto Uzumaki, a shinobi, or a ninja to be simpler, said Naruto. My name is Miles Prower, but my friends call me Tails because of my 2 tails, though I see that you have more tails than me. That's because I'm a 9-tailed fox, but it's nice to meet a fellow fox, said Naruto with a smile while waving his tails. It's nice to meet you too, said Tails. Then he turned back to Sonic. I've heard that you tried to save their princess from Dr. Eggman. Yeah, I did, and Naruto showed up to help out, but old Eggy managed to get to her and escape, said Sonic. Not only that, he kidnapped the princess to learn about some sort of secret to something called the Flames of Disaster and control it while using the power of the Chaos Emeralds, said Naruto. The 2 of you are going to rescue her, right? Let me help. Whatever plans that Eggman has to do with those things can't be a good thing, said Tails. Sure thing, Tails, with your help this will be a piece of cake, said Sonic with a thumbs up. Then he turned to Naruto. Tails has always been helping me out on my adventures, so I always know that he's got my back, plus he's your go-to guy when it comes to technological stuff. Okay then, let's head to the gateway which will take us to Wave Ocean. They say Eggman's ship had been sighted there, said Naruto. Okay, I'll do my best, said Tails. Then they took off in direction towards the gateway with Naruto and Sonic running while Tails was keeping up with them by spinning his twin tails quickly, which made him fly in the air much to Naruto's surprise. Whoa, how did you do that with your tails? That's so cool, said Naruto with stars in his eyes. Tails felt a bit embarrassed from how Naruto was looking at him. Well, I always knew how to do it ever since I was younger. I wonder if I can do the same thing too, thought Naruto. It won't work, Naruto, especially since you have too many tails. They'll end up getting entangled and you crashing on the ground, said Kurama. Darn, and here I thought that I would be able to fly. You forgot that you can already fly. Yeah, but that's when I'm in the 6 paths mode, and right now you're fixing my chakra coils. I forgot to tell you that since you've unlocked the 6 paths mode, you can fly in both the chakra mode and bija mode. I can't wait to try them out. The trio kept running until they came to one of the ports. Tails pointed across the water to a large cliff wall. The gateway to Wave Ocean is over there, said Tails. Naruto looked to see a hollowed-out cave, and inside it is some sort of shrine that holds a large mirror which was displaying the image of a beach. Once we pass through the mirror, it will teleport us there. Alright guys, let's go. Sonic saw a trail of rings leading to the other side. He jumped towards the rings and quickly dashed along them to the other side while collecting the rings. Tails jumped into the air and flew over. Swift release, shadowless flight. Naruto leapt into the air and dashed to the other side while leaving behind afterimages till he landed at the entrance with the others. That's a pretty slick move, it's just like my jump dash, said Sonic looking impressed. Thanks, it's part of my abilities and I'm still training with it, said Naruto. Anyway, let's get going. With that, the trio jumped into the mirror and found themselves floating through a void tunnel until they reached the other side. Exiting from the tunnel, Naruto and the others found themselves standing on a cliff that was overlooking a tropical beach with large bodies of water and small islands scattered around. Tails flew high into the air to get a better scope of the area before descending to the ground. The whole place is overrun with Eggman's mechs, but I didn't see the egg carrier anywhere. We should split up to cover more ground, that way we can find where the princess is kept, said Sonic. Add in busting up some mechs and we'll call it a plan, said Naruto with a smirk which was mirrored by Sonic. Sure thing, Tails and I will go in this direction and you will go in the other direction. Sonic took off down the cliff wall and jumped onto a nearby spring which bounced him towards an island. Good luck, Naruto, said Tails before flying off to follow Sonic. Alright then, let's go save a princess, said Naruto with a smirk. Like always, said Kurama. Music start, Sonic the Hedgehog OST, Wave Ocean, The Water's Edge. Naruto leapt off the edge of the cliff and started running down the cliff wall before running on the water with chakra channeled to his feet till he reached an island. Upon reaching the small island, he had a whirring sound and looked up to see a squadron of Eggman's robots descending from the sky towards him. Naruto simply smirked and took out a kunai which he channeled chakra into it. Let's send these walking hunks of metal to the scrapyard. Then he dashed towards them, all the while deflecting the metal projectiles which he now knows as bullets with the kunai. He slashed through all of the mechs as they fell apart before he continued onwards. He stepped on a dash panel which launched him forward as he ran through a loop before speeding on the water to nearby pier holding a spring. He bounced on the spring towards a horizontal bar that was held up by two vertical poles, spinning on it several times before letting go to send himself flying into the air to land on an upper ledge, but he was greeted with more of Eggman's robots, except these ones seem to be designed after crabs and they're holding some glowing orange ball. I wonder what those ball are about, wondered Naruto. One of the robots threw the ball at him, but he jumped away just as the ball exploded. I guess that answers my question, so here's my reply. Naruto took out an exploding tag and rapped on the handle of his kunai and was about to throw it when Kurama spoke up. Hey kid, throw the kunai at that oddly colored robot among the group, said Kurama. Naruto looked amongst the robots and saw that only one was colored red while the rest were white. He threw the kunai at it, resulting in its destruction, which in turn caused the rest to explode as well. It seems like the red one was the leader, so when you destroyed him, it also led to the destruction of the rest, said Kurama. An army without a leader will fall into disarray. I guess it really works, said Naruto, then he continued onwards. He ran to the end of the ledge and stepped on a dash which sent him flying towards a lighthouse. Thinking quickly, Naruto flipped in midair before planting his feet onto the wall of the lighthouse and then kicked off it towards a large rock sticking out of the water and bounced off it as well. Then Naruto went through a multicolored ring which sent him somersaulting onto a long thin metal bar as he proceeded to grind along it till he reached the end before jumping off to land on a nearby seashore. More of the mechs arrived to attack him, but Naruto stood at the ready. Shadow clone jutsu. There was a puff of smoke which cleared to reveal 5 copies of Naruto as they drew out kunai from their holsters before charging forward to engage the enemy. One of the mechs shot a missile at Naruto. He decided to gamble on the next move as he used his tails to wrap around it, then he spun on his axis before letting go of the missile, sending it flying back and destroying the robot. That was pretty risky, but a good move nonetheless, said Kurama, to which Naruto smirked at. He turned to see his other clones finishing off the remaining mechs with a quick rasengan or exploding tags, before he started to look around for any trace of the egg carrier. Darn it, we've been looking all over the place but still no luck. I hope Sonic and Tails are having better luck than us. Then he suddenly heard an explosion from somewhere close by and dashed over to see what it is. He sent chakra to his feet as he ran up to a ledge and looked over to see something interesting beside the seashore. He was seeing a mini tornado made out of flames that was attacking a group of mechs. The robots were shooting at it, but the bullets were being melted by the flames as they were destroyed. Music end. When there were no more enemies around, the tornado stopped spinning and the flames dissipated to reveal someone standing there. She's a lilac cat with gold eyes and the tip of her tail being dark purple and a small gem on her forehead. She wears a long purple flared mantle-like coat of sorts with a gold collar and white tights. The cuffs are fuzzy and white. She wears dark pink high-heeled shoes with white straps and fluffy cuffs. I wonder who she is, thought Naruto. He was shaken out of his thoughts when he heard a feminine voice call out. I know you're here, so come out from hiding, said the cat. Naruto was surprised as he was sure that he hit his chakra signature before jumping off the ledge to land before her. Who are you? The name's Naruto Uzumaki. What's yours? Asked Naruto. I am Blaze the cat, she replied stoically. Blaze, huh? That a nice name, it really suits you, said Naruto. Flattery will get you nowhere. I'm not trying to flatter you, I really meant it when I said that your name suits you because of your ability to wield fire, said Naruto with a smile. Blaze was surprised for a bit since she had never been complimented before, then she took on a stoic look again. But why were Eggman's robots after you? I don't know why, but they will not get in the way of my mission. A mission? Asked Naruto with a quirked eyebrow. It does not concern you, and you wouldn't believe me anyway, said Blaze. Who knows, maybe I can help you, said Naruto. Kit, don't forget the reason why we're here, said Kurama. Of course I haven't forgotten, thought Naruto. Blaze looked at the fox for any signs of deception and didn't find any. Then she started to speak. I came from the future with a friend. In my time, we live in darkness and every day is a struggle just to live. All because of the flames of disaster that burns away at our world and destroys everything in their path. These flames come from an eternal life form known as Iblis. Naruto and Kurama were shocked to hear that the future ended up like that. How did this happen? We were told that someone was responsible for awakening the flames of disaster, the Iblis trigger. With the help of Mafils, we traveled back to this time to stop him and hopefully change the future, but we somehow separated during the time travel, said Blaze. It sounds as if Eggman is the Iblis trigger, don't you think so, Kurama? Thought Naruto. It may seem so, but let's ask her just to make sure, said Kurama. Do you know anything more about this Iblis trigger? All that we know is that the Iblis trigger is a blue hedgehog, said Blaze. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise at what he heard. That can't be true. Sonic doesn't seem like the kind of guy that wants to destroy the world. I didn't sense any kind of darkness in him, he thought. I don't think she's lying either. It's possible that she's been misinformed. I think we shouldn't let her know about Sonic's whereabouts and hope that her friend doesn't find him either, said Kurama, to which Naruto nodded in affirmation. He snapped out of his thoughts to see Blaze looking at him confusedly. Are you alright? You seemed a bit distracted, said Blaze. Sorry about that, Nico. I tend to zone out whenever I'm thinking, said Naruto while rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. It's okay, but why are you calling me Nico? Where I came from, it means cat in my language. Sorry if it offends you. Oh no, I was just curious about the meaning. Anyway, if I find out anything about the Iblis trigger, I'll be sure to let you know, said Naruto. Thank you very much, I hope to see you again. With that said, Blaze took off into the distance with Naruto looking on. Nico, are you by any chance smitten with her to the point of calling her that? Said Kurama with mischievous grin. Naruto was blushing red and started sputtering, what do why you mean? It's nothing like that. Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, but what do you think of what she said? Like I said before, Sonic doesn't seem to be that kind of guy. Which could mean that there's a hidden player in this game and he's targeting Sonic, so we'll have to keep quiet about this for a while in order to avoid raising suspicion. Naruto heard a whirring sound and turned to see the egg carrier flying off. Eggman must have known that we were coming, let's go after him. Naruto took off after the ship in hopes of catching up to it. Music start, Sonic the Hedgehog OST, Wave Ocean, The Inlet. Ever since Sonic and Tails split up from Naruto in search of Princess Elise, he had been destroying Eggman's mechs and searching through the islands, but then he and Tails had to work together to stop an orca from leaving the coast before resuming the search. Somehow Eggman must have gotten word that he was coming as Sonic saw the egg carrier take off and pursued it. Darn, we're not going to make it, let's speed up. Sonic started running along the beach, but Eggman mechs were flying overhead and shooting at him, forcing him to take evasive action. Dang it. I can't let these guys slow me down. The robots were about to open fire again when several diamond-shaped knives hit them before exploding, taking down any other near them. Sonic turned to see someone running on the water towards him and recognized who it is. Hey Naruto, thanks for the save, said Sonic. No problem Sonic, let's catch up with Eggman, said Naruto, to which Sonic nodded in agreement. Together they started running after the ship. They ran on the beach while avoiding the rocky obstacles along the way. Several more mechs appeared above them and started shooting again. Naruto reached into his pouch and took out a handful of shuriken and channeled chakra into them before throwing them at the mechs, which slashed through their wings, sending them crashing to the ground. They ran up a bridge and headed towards a dash ramp. Sonic stepped on it and launched himself towards the large rocks and proceeded to jump off them to get across the water, but Naruto jumped over the dash ramp and ran on the water, much to Sonic's surprise. They reached the other side of the shore and ran into a grove of coconut trees. Whoa, how did you do that? Asked Sonic. I channeled my energy to my feet, which allowed me to walk on water without sinking into, said Naruto. That's pretty cool, I wish I could do that. You can't swim. Something like that, whenever I step into the water, I sink like a stone. But I can overcome it by running very fast on it, said Sonic. He looked back to see Eggman's robots behind them and ready to open fire on them. Let's lose these guys. You got it. The duo ran even faster while weaving through the groove. The mechs tried to keep up but they ended up crashing into the coconut trees. They exited from the groove and saw that the egg carrier had gotten further ahead and ran through a spiral loop which ended with a dash ramp, sending them kicking off large rocks again. However, a large mountain stood in their way, forcing Naruto and Sonic to skid to a stop and watch the egg carrier fly away. Music end. Darn, he got away. Naruto growled in anger. A feather floated down and landed at their feet with Sonic picking it up. That feather is part of Elisa's crown. Naruto, Sonic. They turned to see Tails running up to them. I hacked into the memory of one of Dr. Eggman's robot to learn that he was moving the princess to another location, but the memory was too damaged to learn more. I think we should head back to the city and plan our next move. You're right, we can't do any more around here, said Sonic. Then the trio headed back to the gateway in order to return to the city. Naruto, Sonic and Tails were walking through the streets of the city, thinking of any leads to Eggman's whereabouts. They were snacking on some chili dogs that they bought thanks to the rings which they collected back at Wave Ocean. Naruto wanted to buy some ramen but decided to try out the chili dogs which he found to be tasty but still considered ramen to be the #1 food in his book. You got any information about where Eggman could be? Asked Sonic while munching on a chili dog. Naruto finished his before replying, nope, so far I've got nothing from the memories of my shadow clones, said Naruto. Then suddenly he received a memory from the last of his clones which saw something that caught his attention. Hey guys, come on, I think someone's in trouble. Okay, let's go. Naruto led the way with Sonic and Tails following close behind until they saw a group of civilians standing there and looking upwards. They also looked up to see a young girl standing on the roof of a tall building and was crying. We have to get up there and help her get down, said Tails worriedly. Don't worry you guys, I got this. Naruto jumped towards the wall and started walking vertically up the building to the surprise of everyone present. Wow, I've never seen a ninja do that except for Espio, who is a chameleon. Well, Naruto did something like this before and was about to run on water without sinking. Unlike me. By then, Naruto had reached the top of the building and was approaching the girl to try and calm her down. Hey, are you okay? I'm fine, and I'm sorry for making you worry, said the girl. It's okay, but why are you up here? I heard Eggman was going to the desert, so I just wanted to keep watch from a high place. Okay then, I'll help you get down from here since the people are getting worried. Naruto carried the girl and walked down the side of the building and placed her on the ground much to the relief of everybody. Good job on helping that kid out, said Sonic with a thumbs up. It was nothing, though thanks to that I was able to get some good info, said Naruto. What do you mean? Asked Tails. Turns out that Eggman was last heard moving towards the desert. Got any idea where exactly? That sounds like the dusty desert. I'll show you the gateway, said Tails before running off with Naruto and Sonic close behind. Meanwhile, Princess Elise was sitting in the room of an old ruin in the desert thinking about the words her father told her before he died. You're a good girl, Elise. Remember to be brave and don't cry, no matter what happens. She was startled out of her thoughts when a wall near her collapsed and saw 3 figures walk through the newly made hole and recognized them to be Naruto and Sonic with a 2-tailed fox who peeked out from behind and waved at her. Mr. Sonic and Mr. Naruto. Elise happily ran over and hugged Sonic. No need for the Mr., as it makes us feel kind of old. Are you okay? Said Sonic. I'm so glad that you came, said Elise. We promised that we would save you, and when we make a promise, we will definitely keep it, said Naruto, smiling with Sonic nodding in agreement. That you always do, said Kurama with a smile. Sonic, Naruto, we've got trouble, said Tails. Naruto and Sonic immediately stood in front of Princess Elise protectively to see Eggman standing before them with a large, black and red dog-like robot with a red antennae and a visor which opened up to reveal a single red eye. It looks like some pesky rats have stuck their nose where it doesn't belong. Well, a hedgehog and 2 foxes to be precise, said Eggman. It can't be helped, we foxes tend to be quite curious sometimes, said Naruto with a smirk, Kurama grinning as well as Tails giggling a bit. Well, it doesn't matter, the princess is mine until I unlock the secret of the flames of disaster, and you 3 will serve as an early breakfast for my pet. Eggman turned to the giant robot, Cerberus, attack. Cerberus unleashed a loud howl and charged at them. We've got to get out of here. There's not enough room to fight it here, said Tails. Naruto quickly took out a kunai with an exploding tag and threw at the wall behind them, which blew up to reveal another hole. Come on, this way. Naruto ran through the hole with Sonic carrying Elise and Tails flying behind them. They were running through the halls of the ancient ruins and could hear Cerberus chasing them from behind. They went round a corner to find themselves at a dead end. It's a dead end. Naruto stepped forward and held his palm out. Don't worry, Tails, when you can't find a way, then you make one. Then blue energy started to form into a spinning ball and he charged forward and slammed it into the wall, completely destroying it. They went through to find themselves standing in an arena. Looks like we've got enough elbow room to play with Eggman's pet, said Sonic, setting Elise down. Tails, you protect the princess while Naruto and I deal with Cerberus. You got it, Sonic, said Tails as he flew over to Elise. They heard a loud roar and turned to see Cerberus break through the wall and was growling at them. Music start, Sonic the Hedgehog OST, Boss, Egg Cerberus and Egg Genesis. Let's go. Sonic and Naruto with him getting ahead first. Cerberus stood on its hind legs and brought its forelegs down on them. Sonic quickly darted out of the way while Naruto did a backflip before jumping into the air, where he formed a quick rasengan and dived at it, ramming the attack on the visor. But the jutsu only inflicted so much as several scratches before Cerberus shook its head and sent Naruto flying and landing on his feet. Damn it, the quick rasengan won't be able to do much damage on that metal mutt. Kurama, can't I use my true rasengan yet, thought Naruto. I'm repairing your chakra coils as fast as I can, just give me more time. Now pay attention, that metal dog is coming at you, said Kurama. Naruto snapped out of his thoughts to see Cerberus charging towards him. Swift release, shadow dance, he dashed forward while weaving through its legs and appeared at the other side, confusing Cerberus, who had lost sight of its target and was looking around. Sonic saw this as a chance and dashed forward, then he grinded up on Cerberus's tail and leapt to grab the neon road, which is its antennae. This caused the machine to freak out and buck around like a wild horse with Sonic holding on. Sonic, make it run into something. Tails shouted out. Sonic heard him steered Cerberus right into a wall, jumping away into the air before the impact and landing beside Naruto, who gave him a thumbs up. Good move, that dealt a lot of damage, so let's keep this going, said Naruto. Cerberus got up and shook its head before it turned and growled angrily at the speeding duo, then it charged at them and tried to bite them. Naruto took out a black pellet from his pouch and threw it to the ground, creating a smokescreen. Cerberus ran through the cloud only to find that neither of them were there. At that moment Naruto was coming in from the left with a windmill shuriken in hand, which he threw at the head. When the shuriken got close, there was a burst of smoke which faded to reveal Naruto, who grabbed the antennae, and the Naruto who threw was a clone as it disappeared. Now it's my turn. Naruto twisted the neon rod, forcing Cerberus to run around blindly, unaware that the shinobi was steering it right into a statue and crashed into it, destroying the visor. Hey, we can finally see its face. Now to finish this up, said Sonic. Cerberus got up again, then it leapt out of the arena and stood on a circular ledge, then it started running along with Naruto and Sonic, keeping a close eye on it. We've got to be careful this time, I don't think it will fall for the same trick thrice, said Naruto. You're right, that means we need to deal a one-hit KO on it, but how, said Sonic. Naruto was about to reply when Kurama spoke up. Hey kid, I've repaired your chakra coils enough to use the full power of your rasengan as well as use a certain technique. What certain technique? Asked Naruto. I prefer that you figure it out. Darn it, Furball, this isn't the time for guessing games. Naruto heads up. Naruto looked up to see that Cerberus had leapt from the ledge and was coming down towards Naruto, and Sonic dashed away just in time to avoid the impact as well as the shockwave which rattled the entire arena. I'll distract him while you find a way up to that antennae again. Naruto crossed his fingers and this time was able to summon at least 20 of his clones. The clones charged at Cerberus and started attacking it with kunais and shurikens, which enraged the mechanical beast as it stared, swiping at them with its metal claws. Few were able to evade the frenzied attacks while some others were hit strong enough to be dispelled. Sonic was running along the edge of the arena and started picking up speed, enough to be able to run on the walls itself. Quickly seeing a chance when Cerberus lowered its tail, Sonic kicked off the wall and was able to grind on Cerberus's tail before grabbing the antennae. He tried to run the mechanical dog into the walls again, but Cerberus was ready this time and would turn away whenever it get close to one. Humph. Listen to me. Sonic grunted as he tried to control it. Sonic, lead it this way. Sonic looked to see Naruto standing with his clones as they were forming another one of those spinning ball of energy, except this one was a bit bigger. Sonic steered Cerberus in Naruto's direction, then the clones grabbed hold of Naruto and flung him into the air. Take this, giant rasengan. Sonic jumped out of the way just as Naruto rammed his jutsu into Cerberus's head, grinding through the metal and completely destroying it as the robot dog collapsed to the ground and laid there unmoving. Music end. Looks like we were able to teach it how to play dead, said Sonic with a smirk. Yeah, and it almost makes it look like it's really dead, said Naruto in agreement. You guys were amazing, said Tails excitedly with Elise walking up to them. You two are really strong to be able to defeat it, said Elise. Thanks for the compliment, but right now we need to get out of here and return to the city, said Naruto. You're right, let's get going. Sonic picked up Elise in a bridal carry, and they ran out of the stadium and soon exited the ruins. But then a squadron of Eggman's mechs appeared from the sky and were in pursuit of them. How long is this gonna go on? Let's split up, I'll grab their attention while you take the princess back to the city, said Tails. I'll stay behind with Tails, with my shadow clones, I'll be able to keep them busy for a while, said Naruto. Okay, you guys had better be careful, said Sonic. Good luck and please be safe, said Elise. Don't worry about us, we'll meet up with you guys later, said Naruto. The foxes turned around to face the mechs while Sonic continued to run with Elise. Let's go them what we got, Tails. I'll do my best, said Tails. Meanwhile the white hedgehog was walking through the desert, following a pink female hedgehog who excitedly running ahead and looking around. I can sense Sonic's presence around here. Call it my girlish intuition, said the pink hedgehog. Then she turned to the white hedgehog. Don't worry, as soon as I find Sonic, I'll help you find who you're looking for, Silver. Thanks, said the newly named Silver. Then he looked around. This place is so appealing, and everyone is happy. What do you mean? Never mind, let's go. I'll help you find who you're looking for, said Silver as he ran off with the pink hedgehog following him. Once I find and destroy the Iblis trigger, then the future can be changed to be just like this. Jutsu list. Swift release, shadow dash. The user dashes through midair while leaving a trail of afterimages to confuse the opponents. This can be used a few times while in midair to change directions. Shadow dance. The user moves around at high speeds leaving a trail of afterimages, useful for moving through multiple opponents, evading attacks, and can also act as an offensive when using a weapon. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Hussbek on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.